This is the story of Yennefer, a purple-eyed, deformed girl living in the town of Wengerberg. Yennefer lived with a cattle herder's family. Sadly, the people in the town often made fun of her because of her looks. One day, while Yennefer was doing her chores, a mean couple found her and started to abuse her. In a panic, Yennefer unknowingly used magic to escape. A magical portal transported her to a new location, the Tower of the Gull in Aretuza. There, she met a wizard named Istrid. He was surprised to see her. Istrid told Yennefer that she had magical powers, which she found hard to believe. But Istrid explained that all magic leaves a mark, which wizards can use to find someone who has magic in them. To keep Yennefer safe from others, Istrid decides to send her back. A few days later, a wealthy and beautiful woman named Tisea came to her family's farm. Tisea had initially planned to buy a pig, but her attention quickly shifted to Yennefer. Yennefer's father agreed to sell his daughter for a lower price than the pig. Tisea was more than just a rich woman. She was a wizard. With a firm hand, she took Yennefer to Aretuza, a school known for teaching magic. In frustration, she tried to end her life by slitting her wrist. But in Aretuza, death wasn't an easy escape. After recovering, Yennefer joined her first magic class along with other girls who also had a special connection to magic. Tisea, their teacher, gave them a task. They needed to draw power from a flower to make a rock float without touching it. All the girls in class managed to make their rocks float except Yennefer. Despite failing, Yennefer didn't give up. She stubbornly tried over and over until Tisea told her to stop. Feeling frustrated, Yennefer ran away from the class. Several weeks passed, and in another session, Tisea taught them how to read each other's minds and find their greatest fears using magic. Once again, Yennefer found it hard to follow. Overwhelmed and desperate, she pretended to succeed in reading her partner's mind. But Tisea saw through her lie, and this made her angry. She used her magic to read Yennefer's mind and revealed her deepest fear was true. Even if she were beautiful, no one would love her. These harsh words left a deep impact on Yennefer's already fragile heart. She immediately returned to the Tower of the Gull and found Istrid. She shared her frustrations and despair with him, longing to be good at something just once in her life. Istrid comforted her, sharing his struggles when he was a beginner at Aretuza, assuring her it was normal to find it tough. As a gesture of support, he offered Yennefer to practice by reading his thoughts, and to their surprise, she successfully did it. A few nights later, Tisea woke all the girls during a thunderstorm and led them to Tor Lora, the most powerful magic place on the continent. The girls were given a new challenge, to capture lightning in a bottle. One by one, the girls tried and failed. When Yennefer's turn came, a bolt of lightning struck her. However, her body seemed to absorb the lightning. The next girl managed to perform the task successfully, earning proud looks from Tisea while Yennefer was met with disapproval. In a rage, Yennefer directed the lightning at the girl, but Tisea, acting swiftly, deflected it. After the incident, Tisea began to doubt Yennefer's potential, stating that all sorceresses were meant to serve as advisors to kings. If Yennefer couldn't control her emotions, she wouldn't be suitable for such a role. Feeling defeated, Yennefer shared her fears with Istrid, telling him she was failing all the tests and might be sent home soon. Concerned, Istrid decided to help her by teaching her powerful but dangerous ancient magic. He explained to her the history of the wizards, the dead elves who built Aretuza and all the magical places. However, when humans arrived, they killed the elves. Istrid gave Yennefer a special flower that could only grow where the elder's blood rests. Then, he recited a spell, and as Yennefer repeated after him, she was able to open a portal. Istrid was amazed and couldn't understand how Yennefer managed to open the portal on her first attempt. When he asked how she did it, Yennefer revealed her secret. Her real father was a half-elf who had died during the Purge. This is why she was cursed with deformities and treated as an outcast. The man who sold her was her stepfather. In a tender moment, Istrid kissed Yennefer, expressing his feelings for her. However, It turned out that Yennefer had been working on a task set by Tissaia the whole time. She was supposed to retrieve the unique flower to prove that she could control her emotions long enough to complete the mission. Meanwhile, Istredd was also acting under orders from his superior, Stregobor. He had discovered Yennefer's true identity and revealed it to Stregobor. When Yennefer questioned Tissaia about whether she had ascended or not, Tissaia asked her to wait until night. Yennefer heard knocks on the doors of her fellow students, but none on hers. Curious, she followed them and secretly watched Tissaia. She was shocked to see Tissaia transforming the other students into eels. When Tissaia noticed Yennefer spying, she called her over and instructed her to push the eels into the water. Tissaia clarified to Yennefer that these eels would serve as conduits, channels for Aretuza's magical power. The fact that she was not among those eels indicates that she had ascended and gained Tissaia's approval. As time passed, Yennefer developed a sexual relationship with Istredd. This newfound connection seemed to help Yennefer gain better control over her magical abilities and emotions. In fact, she became so adept that she even conjured an audience through magic during one of their sexual encounters. The day of the final rite was fast approaching. Once completed, they would become masters of their destiny. Yennefer harbored dreams of graduating from Aretuza and returning to her hometown of Adarn as a powerful sorceress. A few days later, all sorceresses underwent enchantment procedures before being sent to different kingdoms. The man responsible for the enchantment process assured Yennefer he would transform her appearance, regardless of the challenges. Then Tissaia appeared and told Yennefer that most people had to confront their flaws every time they looked in the mirror. However, for sorceresses like them, it was different. They had the power to look and be however they wished. Yennefer confessed she didn't know where to start. So, Tissaia guided her, instructing her to visualize the most powerful woman she could imagine. She then transferred Yennefer's thoughts onto the mirror, allowing her to see her true self, a symbol of her power and potential. Suddenly, an urgent meeting of the Aretuza Council members took place to designate the respective kingdoms for each sorceress. Tissaia suggested sending Yennefer to Adarn because of her origins and the king's preference for sorceresses from his kingdom. However, Stregobor, one of the council's leaders, revealed that Yennefer was a quarter elf, a fact that would be problematic as Aretuza harbored hate against elves. After a deep discussion, the members voted to send Yennefer to Nilfgaard. Upon hearing this decision, Yennefer was filled with anger. She insisted on speaking with the council members directly, but Tissaia reminded her that her elf lineage was the root of the issue. Confused and upset, Yennefer questioned why her background had been exposed. Tissaia assured her that she wasn't the one who revealed Yennefer's lineage to the others. Yennefer realized it was Istredd who betrayed her. During the initiation ceremony, Istredd noticed Yennefer's absence. He went to the Tower of Gold to find her. Yennefer was drafting a deed there, hoping her stepfather would sign it, and would declare her as his legitimate daughter. When Istredd doubted that this letter could convince the council members, Yennefer confronted him about disclosing her secret. He expressed regret that he hadn't foreseen how the information would be used. When Yennefer accused him further, he stated that he knew she had been spying on him for Tissaia. Then he proposed a solution. Yennefer could accompany him on his journeys. However, Yennefer expressed her discontent. She argued that it was his dream, not hers, and she had no desire to simply tag along. This left Istredd deeply upset, as he genuinely believed that Yennefer wanted to be with him. In desperation to change her appearance, Yennefer rushed to the enchanter, the specialist in transformation magic. She urged him to start the process immediately. The man warned her that the transformation would be very painful, and she wouldn't be able to have a child afterward. Yennefer asked him to keep her wrist marks, and her purple eyes the same as a reminder of her past. He tied her to a chair and started the process with removing her uterus, which he used to make a special ink for the spell. He marked the areas of her body that were to be changed. The transformation began. Her body began to change, including her back, which started to straighten. As the process ended, she passed out from extreme tiredness. Back at the ceremony, Tissaia and Istredd felt something odd. Just then, the room's doors opened and a stunning Yennefer walked in. Everyone was shocked by her transformed appearance. Yennefer confidently walked straight to the king of Audernay. She knew he'd prefer a sorceress from his kingdom. She asked him to dance with her. Tissaia tried to interrupt, but the king was completely charmed by Yennefer's beauty and grace. Tissaia and the others from Aretuza realized that Yennefer had taken control of the situation. They couldn't do anything because it was a formal event. Yennefer confidently danced with the king, enjoying the attention she was receiving. Overcoming her initial struggles with magic and insecurities, she ultimately gains control over her destiny. And this is how the story ends. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggestions for future movies, please leave them in the comments section below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.